Accessory organs of the digestive system. Liver. While the liver has many functions, its main function in the digestive system is the production of bile. Bile has water, salt, and pigments that provide the brown color of feces. Bile contains salts that emulsify as fats. The bile salts surround the droplets of the fat, increasing their surface area and making them more available to digestive enzymes that break down fats, known as lipases. After being produced in the liver, bile travels through the ducts to the gallbladder. The bile is produced in the liver, and it travels down these ducts into the gallbladder. Controlling blood glucose. The liver and the pancreas also maintain homeostasis with respect to blood sugar levels. The excess glucose that enters the bloodstream following the digestion of a meal is processed in the liver, which synthesizes glycogen from glucose. The liver then stores glucose as a polysaccharide until needed for cellular respiration. Controlling blood glucose. If blood glucose is high after eating, the pancreas will release insulin. Insulin signals the liver to take in glucose and store it as glycogen, and blood glucose is decreased. If blood glucose is too low, the pancreas releases glucagon. Glucagon signals the liver to break down glycogen back to glucose and release it into the blood, raising the level of blood glucose. This cycle of opposing a stimulus, making blood glucose lower or low blood glucose higher, is called negative feedback. Controlling blood glucose. The diagram below illustrates the negative feedback relationship between insulin and glucagon. When blood sugar is high, in this case down here, insulin is secreted by the pancreas. The insulin signals the liver to take in the glucose and store it as glycogen, and that lowers blood glucose levels. If the blood sugar becomes low, as what happens when insulin signals the liver to take in the glucose, then the pancreas will release glucagon to signal the liver to break down the glycogen and send more glucose back into the blood. These two stimuli oppose each other, and so it's negative feedback. Gallbladder. The gallbladder stores bile and concentrates it until it is needed for digestion of fats. Bile ducts carry bile from the gallbladder to the duodenum, the beginning of the small intestine, when food enters the small intestine. If gallstones form and the gallbladder has to be removed, the liver will continually drip bile into the small intestine. Some dietary changes may be necessary, such as avoiding eating too much greasy food all at once. Pancreas. The pancreas is a gland that produces many of the digestive enzymes needed for digestion in the small intestine. It also produces sodium bicarbonate, which changes the pH of the digesting food from highly acidic in the stomach to basic in the small intestine. Enzymes in sodium bicarbonate travel from the pancreas to the duodenum via the pancreatic duct. Pancreas. Below is an illustration of the pancreas, which is right here, sort of nestled in this curve of the small intestine. The pancreatic duct is this. All the digestive juices are placed into the duct, and they come out through the common bile duct into the duodenum of the small intestine. The pancreatic islets secrete the hormones insulin and glucagon. Specifically, the beta cells produce the insulin, and the alpha cells produce the glucagon.